It's Week 13 of the National Football League, and we get to watch Brian Robinson Jr., who's one of the best in the league at running the ball, sitting in fourth. It's the Commanders and the Dolphins, and it's coming up next on Madden Football.
We are technically 5 miles east of Washington, D.C., and that's where you find this place, FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland. Today, we've got a Week 13 matchup for you here, as it'll be the Miami Dolphins taking on the Washington Commanders. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talk about this Commanders team coming into play here today. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week,
the calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. Braxton Berrios now from his end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Dolphins set to go on offense for the first time behind their 25-year-old quarterback, now in his 4th NFL season, Tua Tagovailoa.
that was a solid performance last week, wasn't it? 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran the team well, won the ball game. Bottom line, may not have been earth-shattering, but it didn't need to be.
They fake the handoff, now Tua. And right away, he lost the football. Points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play like that occurs? You know who usually recovers it? The guy who missed his block and let his quarterback get hit.
And he'll be stopped right there at the 28. A nice pickup there, 19 yards. And they're set up better for third. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. They'll run for it with Achane. And it would appear he's going to be short of a first down as he's stopped right around the 29. Just a 1 yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down. So on 4th down, here's Jake Bailey to punt for the Dolphins. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. The Commanders set to go to work on offense, and they've handed the controls to this man in his 2nd NFL season, former Tar Heel Sam Howell.
And he left North Carolina with most of his school's records, and at one point was thought to be maybe the #1 quarterback in his draft class. He does bring deceptive athleticism and plenty of upside to the table. Add some consistency, and maybe he can really unlock what he can be in the NFL.
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. Here's Howell. Short throw to the tight end Thomas. Powers through it. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run. So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 49-yard line. There's Robinson showing the flash. And he ran right through 1 tackle as he fights forward for a gain of 7. This defense for the Dolphins, they really played well a week ago in that win over the Jets.
Yeah, they gave up 17 points, but that's what you would consider a goal for each and every defense, because if you give up 17 points a game all year long, you're thinking you're going to be a playoff team because you expect your offense to score more than that. That's what you're looking for. Room to improve, of course, but I'd have to say a very solid performance.
10 yards there, good for a Washington first down.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
From the 25, here's a 2nd down and 4. Samuel in motion. And he'll get it here on the touch pass. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line.
A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
So he'll be stopped here for no gain. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Field goal unit and Joey Sly now.
From the right hash, it's a 41-yard attempt.
Sly able to put this one through. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
Washington kick team back out there now as they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback. Berrios deciding not to bring it out.
So Miami coming out for their second drive. And on the first drive, 3 and out. I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
On second down, a run by Achane.
That's a strong run. And he'll go out of bounds, it appears, right at the 45. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Dolphins first down. There are times on carries like that where he looks a little bit older than his rookie status.
How many times have we talked when we've gone out to dinner about how precocious these youngsters are? They come into the end.
It's Dolphins football here as we begin the second quarter. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
As they've got it as we resume action. That's to Waddle on the quick slant.
So the completion good for 7 there, and it'll be second down.
The gain of 7 brings up 2nd and 3 at the 28-yard line.
Going to the air, Tagovailoa finds his big tight end, Mo Alley Cox. First time these two have hooked up this afternoon, and it's a first down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
Hill diving, and he's got it full extension. What a catch. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
When I played in the yard as a kid, I used to imitate the spectacular catches that I would see on TV. I don't think I ever imitated one quite that well.
Come on, give yourself some credit.
No, I know better. What we just saw there, that was pretty special.
This will be caught. It's Waddle.
And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line.
Illegal touching. Offense.
So illegal touching, Charles, on the outside.
And a lot of people wonder if the quarterback should see that. No, it's not his job to understand if the receiver is inbounds or out of bounds. You just expect him to be there. But if he takes a step out, he essentially becomes ineligible. That's not a tough one for an official to see, especially one standing on the sideline.
4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
2 and a throw again. Throw left side complete. That's Hill. And he is going to be stopped at the 12, short of the first down. They'll give him 4 yards there, and it'll be 4th down. Sanders' kick is good, and the Dolphins are going to tie the score at 3. So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points, able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
And he won't quite make it to the 25. Brian Robinson Jr. making his way back onto the field.
So officially now a 1,000-yard campaign for him, but I don't think he's going to take his foot off the gas pedal.
Yeah, it's one of those thoughts, though, that creeps into your mind because there is a little mini celebration over on the sidelines. Everybody, hey, job well done, over 1,000 already. But guaranteed, as you noted, someone's jumped in that huddle and said, a lot more to be done, guys. Let's not, would you say, take your foot off the pedal? Let's not do that right now. But there is that possibility, as
people can get self-satisfied. Let's do not. We'll find out what he's made of.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. 38-yard line, 2nd and 11. Al down to throw it. That's complete. Terry McLaurin with it. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Last play, they didn't even get back to the line of scrimmage. Now they gain almost 40 yards here. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. And it is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. Brian Robinson Jr. hitting double digits with his 10th rushing touchdown on the year. And Washington has taken the lead.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run. And one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit. But for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
Extra point by Sly is up and good. And the lead is now 10-3. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback. Berrios deciding not to bring it out. The Dolphins offense now ready to go back out onto the field.
And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive. And they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
That's going to be caught by Allie Cox.
Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half.
Meanwhile, Tua's throws taken in by Waddle.
And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. And again, it's Tagovailoa.
Throw caught by Achane.
He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6. The Dolphins going to take their second timeout as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime.
Tua's throw here going to be caught by Wilson.
And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down about the 21 or 22.
Tua now on 1st down. That one thrown away from the pocket. The officials kind of looking at each other, but they'll say there was a receiver in the area, so no penalty, just an incomplete pass.
From the gun, it's Tua. Over the middle, complete. That's Wilson. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. Now here's a timeout as they're going to get it with 8 seconds remaining here in the first half. 3rd and 1, and Tua wants to throw it.
To the sideline and incomplete.
Strong coverage by Washington, and now 4th down. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get the 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
So we've reached halftime here in our nation's capital with the Commanders on top.
As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Things definitely getting interesting around the NFL as we begin the month of December. So let's get right to it. We'll start over in Texas at AT&T Stadium in Arlington, where you see the final score there. Kenneth Walker, a touchdown run in the victory. Next, we head off to check out another game. And you can see, currently they trail in that ball game. It's Desmond Ridder with a touchdown pass there. Finally, let's get down to the Bayou to check on the Saints at home at the Caesars Superdome. And that one's at halftime with the visiting Lions out on top. The Lions trying to hold on and claim victory. This has certainly been a fun one to watch so far. We knew this was going to be a battle, and we have not been disappointed. This is the kind of game that could wind up hinging on which side can play mistake-free football the rest of the way. Both teams currently making their final adjustments. We're getting ready for the second half. So we'll send it back up to FedEx Field and hand things back over to Brandon Gott.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3.
Fights forward at the 20, and he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Commanders up first on offense as we begin this third quarter. Now, this game, it has obviously been all about the defense on both sides of the football. Which offense is going to break through here? We'll see if they can do it on this drive. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
Howell's throw complete there to Thomas.
They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that'll bring us to a 3rd and 4.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. So here are the Dolphins now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. They'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds.
43 yards rushing for him now on just his first 3 carries.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10.
Meanwhile, Tua's throw caught by his receiver, Hill.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
Now a play fake. Here's Tagovailoa. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
Well, meanwhile, here's a second down throw. It's knocked away and incomplete.
Nice back-to-back plays defensively. They're stacking momentum now. 1 incompletion, 2 incompletion. They're going for more.
Throwing is Tagovailoa on 3rd down here.
And that will be incomplete as well.
The Commanders' defense holds, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Smart move to throw that one away. You're in field goal range, so you definitely don't want to be loose with the ball. And that's great work by this defense to force a 4th down.
So 4th down, Tua departs, and on is Jason Sanders in the Dolphin field goal unit.
This from 44 yards out, left hash. Sanders' kick is good. And that gets him back within a single point. It's now 10-9. So it's a 3rd field goal for him now. He's accounted for all 9 points. I look down to the sideline, though. You can just tell they weren't too happy for 3. They wanted 6.
No, they have to have 6. Look, he's keeping them afloat. but they really need to do exactly what you talked about. They need to get into the end zone and score some touchdowns. Otherwise, he's going to have to kick a lot more field goals than just the three he's already put through the post.
The Washington offense set to take over. And Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
Now a handoff to start it out. Robinson. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Now here's a little touch pass as they tap it quickly to their receiver. And McLaurin going to pick up a Commanders first down as he'll be brought down at the 38-yard line.
And this is just a little touch pass. They send the receiver in motion, just kind of tap it forward to him. Now, it doesn't turn into a huge play, but they do pick up a first down. A nice, consistent game.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Well, that's a good piece of quarterbacking right there because he certainly felt the pressure coming. The alternative, getting sacked for the first time. He didn't like that option at all. Did a nice job saving yardage by throwing that one away.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
Finally hauled down for the first time this game. Multiple defenders in there to drop him.
I know I'm supposed to do the analysis here, but I've got to ask, how did he stay alive that long in the pocket?
Yeah, great footwork, which we know he has. If he would have been able to stay alive, get rid of the ball, or run for some yardage, he would have had a very unhappy defensive coordinator, I believe.
No doubt about that.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Under pressure, they got him again.
Dropped for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders. A 3rd and long, you knew that he was going to throw it. He just couldn't find anybody to throw it to.
Yeah, and it shouldn't have been a surprise, but that was perfect execution of their nickel defense. That 5th defensive back, the extra defender, he really tightened up things downfield in coverage, and they were able to get to him in the pocket.
Holding. Receiving team.
A pretty good return, all things considered, but holding.
I agree with you totally. It's actually a return that they were going to be very proud of. But when you end up holding and bringing it back, now your offense has to start a little bit deeper in their own territory.
Throwing for the out route, he finds Wilson.
And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
So from the 26-yard line, here's 2nd and a couple. Here's a toss left for Achane.
And this one will go to the 28-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
44. Ready.
2 yards on the play. And the Dolphin first down.
Here's Tua. A short throw. This is caught by Cox. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. That'll give them 8 that time, and they'll be left with 2nd and a couple.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players.
Back now at FedEx Field. This one's still anybody's ball game. It's a 1-point difference here as we begin the 4th quarter of play. On 2nd down, Tua.
Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted.
And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory.
Now a handoff to Rodriguez.
And a pretty big hole as he's down to about the 40. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
If you can keep getting gains like that, Charles, with the lead here in the 4th quarter, I mean, keep running it, right?
No doubt about it, but what the offense coordinator has to do is understand they're going to continue to stack the line of scrimmage. What runs do you have in your arsenal that'll work against a stacked box and continue to move the ball?
They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
Well, it is our... what we saw out there, and on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing, in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously, but at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
Robinson up the middle.
Down to the 30 after a gain of 3.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run in the pass, but in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right, it might go to them in this game.
I like that, MVU. Well done. How about this defense? They came up with a couple big plays in this sequence, and none better than the one right there, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
Sly able to put this one through, and the lead grows to 4. It's 13-9. So they get to 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down.
Berrios going to bring this out of the end zone.
And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football.
And it's Washington that scoops it up.
And they will take over with a football just outside of the 10 at the 12-yard line.
And in our meeting with the special team,
And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And that last turnover could have proven more costly, but their defense only gave up 3. But now answering with a field goal doesn't do them much on this drive. They need to try and find the end zone.
An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. Caught by Wilson. And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44.
Here's 2nd and 3.
It's a gain of 7. Brings up 2nd and 3.
On play action, here's Tua. And he'll get this into the hands of Hill, complete. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 43.
A run straight ahead with Achane.
And he's able to carve out about 6 there, down to the 37.
They've created a nice sustained drive off of plays like that. A nice strong run there that keeps them advancing the ball.
Tua wants to throw it on 2nd down. Throw left side, taken in by Hill.
And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 26.
Tagovailoa working out of the gun. He's going to drop this underneath to Mostert. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4. At the 20-yard line.
4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in.
Now 2nd and 4.
They come up on a 2nd down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down the wire. Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here? Or is it just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back. in this situation. He'll need to.
And now we're going to get a timeout defensively. So another stop, 1:50 left in the football game. Tua. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And the Dolphins are looking at 1st and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line. Here's 1st and goal. Now Tua. Escapes the sand. Out to it. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Tua Tagovailoa taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Dolphins put together a 4th quarter drive to take the lead.
Goes back to the early years of his career. Remember, he had 3 touchdowns in each of his first couple of seasons. None last year as they've tried to dial back his running, especially down close to the goal line.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. So it's now a 3-point game here in the closing stages as a field goal now can only tie it. This fielded right at the goal line. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. So here we go now with Howell and the Commanders. Down 16-13, a minute 15 remaining. They need at minimum 3 points out of this as they come up 1st and 10. Here's 2nd down. Here's Howell. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. This definitely 4-down territory at this point, but a critical 3rd down here. Pass to the sideline and pulled in. And he's going to get out of bounds with the 1st down, so that's going to double their pleasure for sure. They get the 1st and save a timeout. He's got McLaurin. They'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner. We watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
Now Washington going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in the game. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
Jonathan Allen on the tackle. It's a pickup of 3. Brings up 7 at the 31-yard line.
And the clock will now stop as a timeout is called with 5 seconds left. A bit of extra pressure now for this one on Joey Sly. Now the Dolphins going to burn the 1st of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
48-yard attempt.
And his kick is indeed good. And they will tie this game here in the final seconds. So a money kick there in the final seconds. And now, barring any hijinks on the kickoff here, partner, I think you and I, we're going to settle in for a little overtime.
And I wouldn't have it any other way. This has been a dogfight all through regulation. No reason to think it won't continue in the extra period.
So overtime on the horizon, barring a wild finish here as the kick's away.
And we have free football overtime. Here we go, my friend.
And the way this game played out, this is exactly how it should end, going to overtime, because neither one got an advantage today.
It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game.
If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. And the Washington offense heading out. All set up for them right now, Charles. Opening possession of overtime. They've got the football. They also obviously have this home crowd behind them in a big way.
They get that extra energy from them, but they've got to be careful not to let that adrenaline get away from them and play too fast or create errors of their own making. Use that energy, embrace it, but make sure they channel it the right way. They've got a chance to go downfield, score a touchdown, and end this game.
Excellent job pushing through tacklers that time to pick up 6. We'll play only the one overtime here. If time runs out, it'll be a tie as they come up. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. That time, multiple defenders getting pressure, and it's a loss of 6. In need of a 3rd and 10 conversion to keep this opening drive of OT alive. Staying on his feet, under pressure, and they got to him again. It'll be a loss of 8 on the sack, and it's going to lead him to 4th down. Here's Tressway now, on for a very important punt here in overtime. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Dolphins offense returning to the field. But their defense did the job, got off the field without giving up any points. And now, Charles, all they need here is a field goal, and they get the victory.
Yeah, and this is the way I love overtime. I'm one of those really old school guys that like sudden death right from the beginning. But we've got it now because any points wins the game. On defense, get a safety, a pick 6, fumble return, you can win it as well. So I'm really looking forward to this series and see how both sides play it.
Next score wins, but remember, this will be a tie if the period ends with no scoring as they work on 2nd down. Here's a pass swung out left to his running back.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
That's caught by Wilson. And he'll be knocked to the turf right there as he gets it up to the 43.
A gain of 12. And the Dolphins first down.
Tua. He's got it complete to Waddle. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
Offense.
So a holding penalty, and that'll send him backwards.
You know they're trying not to do that. I mean, we know that, right? We talk to them all the time. But sometimes the defensive guys just put you in awkward situations, and you get caught grabbing their jerseys.
Here's Tua. Connecting with Hill. He had a great move, but he'll still be stopped shy of midfield.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Now Tua. A short throw. This is caught by Cox. And they're going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 40. Up the middle, Achane. Ooh, the juke. To the 36-yard line. Stop there.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
The pressure gets there, and Tua is going to be taken down. Now a timeout called for by the defense. They'll be down to just 1 remaining as we step aside here in overtime. Tagovailoa. He's got room at the 30. And they're going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 26.
For a tight end, he's got good straight line speed, and on that route, he's often the guy that gets overlooked. Nice job there finding him in stride for really good yardage.
Tua to throw. Well, throw on the run, but that's going to be incomplete.
It sort of looks like they still have some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But this defense gets 2 more stops. They can keep them out of that area.
Now the timeout comes here in the waning seconds of this overtime as we could be set up at long last for a potential game winner.
Now a 2nd and 10. Back to the ground, H.N.
And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3. Well, how about this? The very, very rare tie that we just witnessed. Hard to believe.
You don't see it very often. A bonus period of football, yet both teams go home a little bit unsatisfied.
So that's it. No double overtime until the playoffs roll around, so that means this one ends in a tie.
Yeah, that's ultimately unsatisfying for both teams.